From addiction to dementia, the lifelong impact of sugar on the brain. Hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of the podcast, provided by Vitacois Ltd. Today, we're diving into a topic that might surprise many of you: the damage sugar does to our brains. This isn't just sensationalism, it is a conclusion based on a vast body of authoritative scientific research. Understanding recommended intake. First, let's look at the guidelines. The World Health Organization (WHO) recommends that both adults and children reduce their daily intake of free sugars to less than 10% of total energy intake. A further reduction to below 5%, roughly 25 grams or 6 teaspoons per day, provides additional health benefits. For an average adult consuming 2,000 calories a day, 10% equals no more than 50 grams of sugar, about 10 teaspoons or 14 sugar cubes. The American Heart Association (AHA) is even stricter: no more than 6 teaspoons 25 grams for women and 9 teaspoons 38 grams for men daily. The reality: how much are we actually eating? Let's look at the data. The United States is the world's largest consumer of sugar, with an average per capita intake of 126.4 grams per day, more than 10 times the minimum recommended amount. On average, American adults and young people consume about 17 teaspoons of added sugar daily, which is 2 to 3 times the recommended limit. Among children aged 4 to 13, the daily total sugar intake varies significantly. China, 26 grams total, 9 grams added. Mexico, 92 grams total, 55 grams added. USA, 124 grams total, 76 grams added. In short, most people are consuming sugar at levels far exceeding safety standards. The scale of the research. A massive 2024 review analyzed 77 studies covering over 300 related papers. These included rigorous clinical trials, cross-population surveys, and long-term longitudinal observations. The results were remarkably consistent. Every long-term study found that individuals with high added sugar intake faced a significantly higher risk of cognitive impairment. How does sugar damage the brain? Physical atrophy. High blood sugar can cause the brain to physically shrink, much like a sponge deteriorating when soaked in syrup. Brain tissue gradually atrophies in a high sugar environment. Network disruption. Internal connection networks are damaged, turning what should be a high-speed highway of neural communication into a pothole-filled road. Vascular damage. Sugar damages the small blood vessels responsible for delivering oxygen and nutrients to the brain. When blood flow is restricted, the brain becomes malnourished, leading to anything from brain fog and memory loss to vascular dementia. Specific studies support this. 2012 UCLA animal experiments found excess fructose accelerates the aging of brain cells. 2009 University of Montreal Boston College. Excessive glucose directly impairs memory and cognitive abilities. Long-term consequences from childhood. A 2021 study published in Frontiers in Neuroscience revealed a worrying trend: those who consume high amounts. The effects of sugar starting in adolescence continue to exhibit ADHD-like symptoms and cognitive deficits in adulthood. The sugar you eat in your teens can continue to haunt your brain function decades later. The mechanism of addiction. Why is it so hard to quit? Sugar hijacks the brain's reward system. When you eat sugar, the brain releases dopamine and endorphins, chemicals that make you feel happy. Chronic overconsumption alters this system, making you increasingly dependent on sugar to feel pleasure and making cravings harder to resist. This mechanism is strikingly similar to certain addictive substances. The link to Alzheimer's. Research from 2013 clearly indicated a link between high blood sugar levels and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. This means the sugar you eat today could be increasing your risk of dementia years down the line. Conclusion: the evidence is clear. Sugar's damage to the brain is multifaceted, long-term, and potentially irreversible. It shrinks the brain, breaks neural connections, damages vessels. It accelerates aging, and alters behavior and mood. These aren't just theories, they are scientific facts verified by hundreds of studies from top-tier institutions like Harvard Medical School, UCLA, and the University of Montreal. When the WHO suggests 25 grams, but the reality is that many consume over 100 grams, it becomes clear why brain health issues are so prevalent. Understanding this might help us make wiser choices the next time we face a sugary temptation. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.